Hello, hello. We are in another episode of the series Guided Neighborhood Tours. Maybe you are already familiar with this area called El Cambio. Now we're gonna take the direction towards Pastita. In one of our previous videos we took that road, which is the one leading to Embajadoras, but for this episode we are going to head towards Pastita. This street is the one leading directly to the baseball stadium. To be quite honest, I don't remember the name of the street. If I'm not mistaken, it's San Sebastian. And here we have a church. Guanajuato, especially getting closer to the main centro around Teatro Juárez, there's a lot of churches, but in this area this is one of the main churches. So sorry about the noise. What I wanted to mention, or why is it important to point out the church, is because there are certain celebrations, especially around the end of the year, where they will have there will be a religious celebration, so this street can get blocked because they do some, like, they sell food or they party pretty much. So the party is gonna block the transit, and it's gonna give you some noise. And this street, San Sebastian, obviously is very busy, so that can attract a lot of noise. You have all the buses going through here, and that's gonna be a thing. And it's interesting because this street has more residential opportunities. You will find more houses for rent or for sale. For example, this here on the corner to your left, that's for sale. It's been in the market for a little while. And the blue one sometimes becomes available. It is for rent. So here is where you start to get more like street level access, but also take into account the noise and the party. And this is the baseball stadium. For those of you who are fans of baseball, Guanajuato has a very old tradition of baseball. It's pretty much local teams, but every weekend there's something going on here. And this area is what we know as Puertecito, like little port. And to be quite frankly, maybe I can make another video later on, but that street over there is one of my favorites. It's so cozy and small, and even though it's right here in the middle of all the noise, the houses on the right are very secluded, so you don't get a lot of noise. So this is a very nice area. You are like right here by Embajadoras, where we show you the market, and very near to Centro. Now I'm gonna go towards Pastita. and it has two entrances, especially because of the cars. I'm not gonna take that side because it only shows very few houses, and it also has a secondary school and a little gated community of very, very few houses. Those houses I have never seen on the market or for rent or for sale, so I'm not gonna take that road, maybe on a different video, but I'm gonna take the left side of the street just because here there's more to see and explore. Pastita is a very nice neighborhood. Sorry, but this is Guanajuato. This is the noise.
Compramos todo eso que le está estorbando, doñita. Compro los colchones viejos, colchones, baterías, televisiones, hornos, compramos todas las
That truck is saying that they buy pretty much junk. Like if you have an old mattress or an old stove or washer, they will pick it up and get it. So it's kind of funny. But in these videos, this is what we wanted you to see. What is it day-to-day life in Guanajuato? And this is what it is. Okay, so back on the subject, I was mentioning that Pastita is one of our favorite areas because it has a lot of residential properties. In other videos I mentioned there's not a lot available, it's pretty much commercial, but that's not the case in Pastita. Pretty much all these houses that you see here in both sides of the street are houses. And this part of town also obviously has callejones, but there's more options to live on street level and to have a parking and to have a garden. But there's always a but, right? So there's not a lot of options because this is one of the most popular areas for locals and for people who come from other areas, let's say like outside of Guanajuato, maybe other states of Mexico and other countries. This is a very there's a lot of demand for this area. And well, I just wanted to point out that's the secondary school I was mentioning. That's the road. So again, there's callejones, but we are gonna stay on the main street. And there's a river here, Rio Pastita, and before it was very neglected, it was very dirty with trash, but during the pandemic we had a group of amazing people who rescued this area, and they came and they cleaned, and now they do maintenance work, let's say, on a regular basis. They try to keep the river clean and free of trash. They are Proyecto Pastita, so if you like to join an organization, a non-profit, something to do for the community, that will be one suggestion. This is the fountain. This is a landmark here in Pastita. The fountain, and also there's gonna be a police booth over there. For security, questions about security, you have that assurance that you have police surveillance all the time in here. And you have little convenience stores all along this street. Well, not all along the street, it's more like on this area. And I'm gonna take you to this street right here, just because I want to show you. In other videos I had to go up to callejones to find the houses, but here you have more properties available. And actually many of these become available, but you need to be very quick to rent those, because they are not in the market for very long. And this house here has some properties for rent, and I think this here also. And of course we have callejones. It wouldn't be Guanajuato if we didn't have callejones, but there's a flat area. And this little placita is really pretty, very unique. And that building on the back is the offices of Festival Cervantino. This is their headquarters, so to speak, in the city. I think I had mentioned before, if I haven't, Cervantino is one of the most, if not the most, cultural festivals in Mexico. So it is run by the federal government, and they coordinate everything pretty much from Mexico City. But this is where they have their offices, in the city of Guanajuato. So we're gonna go back to the main street, and here you have again the booth, the police booth, and more houses. This area is pretty flat. And even if you don't have a car, this is a very nice walk. It has the trees, the houses. It's always very peaceful and quiet. And I used to live around this area a while ago, and I used to walk at night, like at, let's say it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and nothing ever happened. Obviously, again, you need to be conscious of your safety. You need to take precautions, but in general, there's a lot of police officers on this area. This house here on the corner also becomes available for rent. I have seen it on the market. It's a little small. If I remember well, it doesn't have any outside space, but in general it's really cozy. And all of this is residential. The thing in this type of neighborhoods, like in Presa, is because it's so convenient, because you have parking, because you can have a garden, there's not many options for sale. That's the truth. There's like once in a while. But if you like this area, maybe you will have to consider getting a house that you will have to fix to fit your needs. But maybe, I think in the last 5 years, there's only been one house for sale on this area, and I think it was the green one or this white one, I don't remember. But very, very rare. If you see now so quiet, the noisy area is where Puertecito is, where the stadium is, but here is really, really quiet, really peaceful. A lot of families, many older couples living here, abuelitos, and the noise won't be an issue in general. We're gonna go back to the river. And what Proyecto Pastita did, they improved these dumpsters and they made it higher, because when people will dump their trash, it will fall into the river. But now they have that back wall higher, so it blocks and prevents trash to go into the river. This house right here also was for sale during the pandemic. I don't know what happened because it looks pretty empty again, but it was available. Here is another church and also a parking place, like the pensiones we have talked about, where you pay the monthly fee and you can park your car there for longer periods of time. And let me show you the river. Now it's really empty because the rainy season has stopped, but it makes a really nice sound. And this callejon right here takes you to Zapote is the area. That area can get kind of dangerous, so I will advise you not to get to Panoramica through there. And here we have one of the nicest features in Pastita, which is the old aqueducto. Really, really beautiful. When in the springtime, these plants above are full of flowers, so it looks amazing. Maybe you have seen pictures. And also I wanted to mention there's a little gated community, a privada over there, and you can see the car access. I'm gonna go back. And there's a huge property right now for sale. I will post the video on TikTok and try to link it here to the video for you to see. And this house right here also becomes available for rent. So it's just a matter of luck, pretty much, because if you come during a time where all these houses are taken, it's gonna be hard to find a house over here. But if you live in the area, you can keep your eyes open to properties. This right here, these two big buildings, is the CFE, the Comisión Federal de Electricidad, electricity company, electrical company. But he's the federal office in charge of running the electrical system here in Mexico. Here we have another house for rent. Is up the hill in this callejon called Quitero. It's not very far up, probably like 4 minutes if you take your time, or even less. But that one is, we have it in our website right now, actually. It's called Casa Iguana, and it's over there at the top. And there's 2 apartments in that building, and both of them you can find them off and on available for rent. Both are furnished and both include utilities. One of them will be available in January, like I mentioned. So, buenos días. I will try to make a video of what can you afford in Guanajuato with the price, and that way you can get an idea. Here we have more residential spaces, a few offices on the left, and right here is Privada de los Frailes. This Privada has car access, and this also has a few properties for rent. They are small places, very, very small places, maybe for one person. A couple might be a bit crowded, but also there's properties available. This here also, I have seen it online for rent, this orange one. So if you see this has more to offer. And it's maybe like 15 minutes away from the main downtown. So it's a really, really good location. And I'm gonna finish the video here, just pointing out another area. This is Privada de los Arquitectos at the back. And Privada de los Arquitectos once in a while also has one property available for sale. And you can have street access, houses tend to be big, you can have a garden, you can have parking, and this is an older area. So you will have to fix it for sure. Like whatever house you get here will have to be remodeled. But this is pretty much the two big areas in Pastita. Here you have a kindergarten. And if you keep going further down the street, you will find Museo Olga Costa. So you also have some access to culture on this side of the city. If you have any questions, please let us know. We will be happy to provide as much information as we can. I hope you like this video, and see you soon.